all over the mansion. It makes me sense. Which makes sense. I don't think I'm imaginative enough to make this all up on my own. This must be a dream. Or a really horrible high. Just then I can feel eyes on me as I contemplate the absurdity of the situation, yet I find difficulty in trying to turn my eyes away from the two dancing. I manage, and I regret looking away. The woman from the garden stands beside me. I can hear her rattling breath, menacing and chilling. Everything in me screams to run. But something pins me to the spot as she just looks at me, watching and waiting. The clamour of their voices fill the ballroom. Although they say such welcoming words, I do not feel comforted by the madness I'm experiencing. The joyous voices turn sinister and foreboding to my ears. The chorus of people that shouldn't exist, threaten to overwhelm me, around me even as I stand on dry land. Music still plays and the Phantom Quartet continues while I stand here. Here comes the bit. This music is so good. Vulnerable and afraid, but the dance has already ended. And I'm afraid that I might just be tonight's entertainment. Attention is all well and good until bullocks like this go down. These phantom people watch me, thousands of eyes scrutinizing, though they cheer for my return, to show me to dance and return to merriment. There are eager hands all over me, pulling me in every direction. They do not move me enough to remove me from the woman's gaze.
Listen. Can you not hear them as they welcome you home? Your kind, our kind. You're one of us, my love. We are bonded by the blood we share.
Fucking knew it. We are bound by the blood we share. I thought the voices were overwhelming before, it's nothing compared to how they are now. The voices are loud, speaking in unison and echoing over the spaces of my head. They're welcoming me back, as if I've always belonged, as if I'm meant to be here in the first place. They call me all these titles and names that don't belong to me, and that man's face, the one with the empty eyes, flashes before me again. Once, fleetingly. Like a new memory having burned itself in my mind. I have to struggle for air when I come back to myself after...
This isn't...
The welcomes turn into screams at my protest, pained and desperate pleas for help, telling me that it's my duty to stay. Telling me that I belong among them, to them. Gentle touches turn near threatening, the warning scratches and the baring of teeth of predators before they turn truly maim someone. My mouth goes dry as I struggle to speak, some sense in this hallucinatory madness, but I don't get the chance as they drown out my voice.
Our Lord, my Prince.
At her words, there's a compulsion to stay, though my heart races in my chest, the fear I should be experiencing refuses to register in my head. Mind and body war against each other, nearly tearing me in two. Oh, you've finally returned to us. The compulsion to walk into her arms is strong, whispers in my head telling me to go to her. They say that she is safety, she is home and heart. We've been waiting so long. But repulsed at these thoughts, I wrench away and turn with a small gasp. Without hesitation, I start to make a run for it, nearly faltering again when every angry shriek pierces the air, inhumane and monstrous. I don't dare look back, I just run. I don't care for this drug-induced hallucination or not. I just run. Out of the ballroom. And out of the parlour. Then it's only then that I bother to look back, hoping and praying that to the God I scorn that it did not pursue me. I'd have run all the way out of the mansion too if someone didn't get in my way. I collide with a body much larger than mine and fall back to the ground, head spinning as I look up at the stained glass. Turning my head to see to the side replaces the colourful sight with a pair of shiny black shoes. Fatigue fills every inch of my being then, making me refuse to get up. Is it Johannes? Meanwhile, a familiar head of ginger hair looks down at me with bemusement.
You really must look where you're going if you insist on running about. Do tell, where is the fire?
Oh, thank God you're here.
I do hope you don't have a concussion. Can you count backwards from 15 to 1 for me?
Oh, fuck off, you wanker. Just help me up.
I do not think insulting me if you do have a concussion is a smart decision. But no, really. 15 to 1.
That woman, she was here. I told you to keep an eye out for her.
The other man offers an arm and pulls me up to my feet then. But before I can storm off and pull him into the ballroom, he anchors me down with one hand on my shoulder and the other touching the back of my head.
No bruising or bump. That still does not mean that you don't have a concussion. If you are too lazy to count backwards, can you tell me your full name? Where are you currently?
We don't have Lucille Mitchell Wright, and this is the Ermengarde bloody fucking foyer. But we don't have time for this.
You must make and have the time to make sure you are not broken in the head. I have already sent security to scour the whole house when I saw you running out of the parlor, Dummkopf. If the woman is here, they will have her. You will only be slowing them down if you plan to interfere.
And let me guess, they come up with nothing. When he points that out, I realise that there are guards starting to filter into the house as we speak, with some already searching the nearby rooms. Armed and uniformed men going about in pairs, making it so that the house is in a flurry of activity. He lets go of me then, with the acknowledgement that I'm not going to keel over anytime soon.
I was hoping that you would be tired from dealing with the young miss on my return. Instead, you come running and hit your head. Such a troublesome boy. Shall I be carrying you to bed, too?
Oh,
I
Johannes.
can manage just fine on my own. Though I don't see how I can sleep until that woman is caught.
It'll be easier to keep you safe in your quarters. This is twice we've known the woman to break in. I think we can safely presume that you hold her interest.
Oh, so that's why security's so tight. He says it's a matter of fact in a tone that brook no argument. Not like I'll argue if it means I'm kept safe. Ugh. Two of us hurry upstairs, though we remain watchful and wary of any potential threats to my person. We make it to the master bedroom without any trouble, though, and two of the security are left outside the door. No problems at all. Not until we get inside. Johannes' eyes sky the room wildly, a look of dread on his usually stoic face. I don't understand for a moment, looking around the bedroom. It's empty, but then I realise...
Where's Hannah? She came home with you from the hospital, didn't she?
She's supposed to be here. I sent one of the maids to accompany her here, to let her rest.
Feel the colour drain from my face when he raises a hand to stop me from charging out there.
Stay.
I'm not staying in here while Hannah stays out there.
One of the guards will find her and bring her here.
And what if they don't? What if that woman gets to her first? What if she already has her?
That's not possible.
You can't promise that.
There's no second thought as I reach under my side of the bed and pull out one of my knives. I have no doubt that the other man can take me on if we're both unarmed. With this, I can even the field, or at least deter him from escalating the situation and risking hurting us.
I'm going out there to look for Hannah, and you're either with me or you aren't. I'm not risking Hannah, and I'm not leaving her alone.
Still, like a stubborn mule, he refuses to budge from the door. There's a withering look on him that I try to match. One that somehow I'm losing fast to, even with him not saying a word.
Can you
yet.
see yourself in the mirror right now? You are in no proper state to go looking for anyone. If it will make you happy, I will do the looking. But please, and don't make me repeat this, stay where it's safe, where security can find you. We already have one person to be worried about. Please.
Oh, shit. Perhaps it's his tone. In spite of the general disdain for virtually everything he has to do with me, I like to think that over the years he's grown to care for Hannah at least. Much as I loathe to admit this, I'd trust him with her own safety over any servant in this house. So, an acquiescence.
You have 2 hours, Sorokin. I don't think it'll take that long to find one missing woman in this house. 2 hours. Any more than that, and I'm going out there.
Of course.
Despite his words, he lingers. If I didn't know any better, I'd say he wants to make sure I'll actually get in that damn bed and sleep before he turns away from me. What am I, a child? Watching me and threatening me like one? There's the reason why we'll never get along.
Well, what are you waiting for?
And the knife?
The knife stays.
Very well.
Only then does he seem to get the hint. With a nod, he leaves, locks and closes the door behind him. For a moment, I still hear his voice while he gives the guards outside firm instructions, then a hush as soon as he departs, and his footsteps fade away. One that doesn't quite last. As quickly as the silence settles, lightning flashes across the sky, followed immediately by the loud boom of thunder. And that wanker strikes so dangerously close that I can feel the electricity in the air. Power goes out not a second later. So the power did go out. Cool. And I feel as if I'm being mocked by whatever greater power there is. All is deathly still for a moment, but soon the rain starts once again. Far heavier than the light drizzle from this morning, the pitter-patter hitting hard against the place's roof. Despite the noise, I find myself drawn to bed, exhausted, hoping for a little nap. I'm safe here. Hannah will be safe too. Shroken will find her, and when I wake, she'll be here. It does not take long. Once my head hits the pillow, in a matter of minutes, darkness claims me, bringing with it laughter and whispered of twisted love of the time long gone.
Who are you? Stay away!
Sweet dreams, my love. Will be over soon. And here we are. So this is the final day of the game. Final day. Yet, in spite of the unfamiliar voices, unwanted touches from the shadows lurking in the dark, arousing is a slow, arduous process. Difficult, every limb heavy with lead. No matter my aversion for the words they murmur in my ears or the sight of their horrid smiles from afar, my body refuses to yield. I'm at their mercy. Beyond fathomable reason, my consciousness refuses to pull of the waking world, choosing to linger in the pits of a dream, gradually drawing me deeper into unknown depths. Somehow, even if it might mean I may never open my eyes, I allow them.
You do not belong there, my prince.
Not that I mind getting a few extra hours, of course. This bed's more than comfortable as it is after an exhausting day yesterday. Babysitting Kylie and the stress of finding an intruder in my own home. I think I deserve a little break, every once in a while, especially after going through all that in a single day. I can only be on the receiving end of so many unacceptable things within the span of a few hours, you know. As gracious a host and person I am, my patience has its limits too. Although there's still a problem with Hannah, I haven't forgotten that, of course, but that's why I hired Shroken. He's competent enough. He won't even last a day in my service if he's any less than those half-wits who think they can deceive me with their sweet words. He's more than capable enough of working on his own without guidance. Let the butler take care of the little problem with Hannah while Hannah.
You do not need her. I am here. We are here. This is where your home is.
Where you belong for the blood we share. Come back to us. How long has it been since? Johannes has never taken this long before.
Surely there should have been an update by now, right?
But why isn't there?
Please don't go.
Bloody hell, the cretins I've surrounded myself with.
And isn't that enough reason to force myself out of bed? It's always been the case. My eyes fly open, expecting the warm rays of sunshine filtering through the curtains, only to be greeted by a flash of light and a loud boom of thunder that sounded nearly too close to my ears. Strong gusts of wind will occasionally burst in from the open balcony door, bringing in drizzles of cold rain into the room. I must have left it open earlier before dozing off. The carpet and floor closest to it is already drenched, and is going to be cross once she sees this. Not that it's an immediate problem. If anything, it's the power outage we should be minding first. With the intruder still at large, steering through the darkness might be far more fatal than multiple stab wounds or gunshots to the chest.
Oh, great. The power's still out. That is exactly what I need right now. Yes.
It's this storm, of course. I should have moved back to the penthouse to weather... I should have moved back into the penthouse to weather it much more comfortable setting. Already I can hear the creak and groans of the old place as rain beats against the windows.
Yo, Hans! Has someone been sent to check the circuit breaker yet?
No answer.
Yo, Hans!
Silence.
Shrokin! Someone! Anyone?
Still nothing, and my cordial mood is quickly dissipating.
Where are those idiots when you need them?
It's really a wonder why he hasn't fixed this yet. Was I really out that long? Can't be. It's only been a few hours after It's only been a few hours after midnight, if the time on my wristwatch is anything to go by. Unless I've forgotten to change it again after the last overseas trip a month ago. Though the delay is understandable, if he went looking for Hannah as he promised. But bloody hell, my safety's also at stake here. Cursing, I stay still, letting my eyes try to adjust to the darkness while my hands fumble for my slippers. If that butler isn't going to fix this, I may as well order the security posters outside to do it too. It's probably just a blown fuse. Anyone with a brain can repair one. Grabbing my jacket and with my footwear finally on, I make for the door. Although in haste, I pause briefly when a gleam catches my eyes as one of my drawers underneath the clutter I've yet to organise, the muzzle of a gun peeks out. Hannah has never openly commented on my possession of it, but I know she does not approve of it. Knowing the bloody firearm policy in this nation, yeah, you're not allowed them. Of course, I've not found much use for it in the 7 years that we've been together, otherwise she would have already had it thrown out years ago. Doesn't mean it won't be useful right now. Without second thought, I seize it, sending the stuff piled above it onto the floor. Huh? Whatever. I'll get to it later. This blackout problem should be resolved first. Next to my missing security detail, as it turns
Where
out.
the fuck did everyone go?
There were two, weren't there? Joker had two blokes posted to stand guard for the night. I might be panicking a bit for a bit earlier, but I'm quite sure I haven't gone delusional yet. What, did both of them decide to take a break because they think the master's already sound asleep and won't be looking for them?
Damn nitwits.
I know assassinations happen very rarely these days, and even less in peaceful cities like Luxborn, but bollocks. There's been a woman going in and out of this place uninvited who may or may not want to put a knife in my back. Isn't that reason enough to stay on alert? I'm fairly certain Shrocken won't enlist their help just for this power outage, only to leave me unprotected. We have a difficult friendship, so to speak, but I doubt the man is an opportunist. I'm holding the lives of his family in my hands, after all. He knows what I'm capable of doing. He's not stupid enough to do anything that'll endanger them or save only himself. So where then? Only my footsteps echo along the dark passage. I'm left gripping the handle of my pistol for some sort of comfort. Without proper lighting, with this storm still raging outside, the stories I've heard about this place seem to have some truth to it. Some. If I'm reaching and wish to entertain myself for a bit, I'll say there might also be ghosts whispering in my ears, calling. Of course, it's just the wind and the trees rustling outside. Nothing good will come of allowing these thoughts to linger when problems are piling up in front of me one after another, especially with what greets me once I get to the foyer, the group of people. Though it's dark, the large window illuminates the area much more easily than any of the other rooms. And from where I stand at the top of the stairs, I can easily make out their forms, recognize them even. It's all gone crazy when these intruders come into my house. I'm no stranger to a cop playing dirty. The smart ones knew that neither life nor criminals are going to play fair. And it's one of its sort in on this too. I'm not surprised. He's a horrific racist, and I'm not saying that on stream, and I'm going to go past it now. But Lily, the estate agent, she doesn't seem the sort. And Daisy too, what will Callie think of her, Miss Pink, if the poor tyke finds out about this? Not to mention Mint. Hannah trusted her. I trusted her to be professional for, at the very least, for fuck's sake. Top it all off, they have the nerve to look surprised when I announce my presence.
Well, well, what have we here? If I were any less sober, I'd say this is the beginning of a joke.
Bloody trespassers, what is wrong with these people? You know, think I'll be fine with them walking into my home like this? What are they even doing in here? If I don't know any better, they might also be behind Hannah's disappearance. They must have a motive. And it better be a good one. Or a bullet to the head is the least all of them will deserve.
Let's see. A photographer, a high school teacher, a real estate agent, an interior designer walk into a mansion.
Thunder cracks once again, cutting me off. This time the sound hits close enough that it nearly feels as if the window and the ground itself are rumbling. It's all deathly still for a moment. Don't let it stop me, however, as I slowly make my way towards them, taking one careful step at a time, relishing the expression of fear in their eyes. I suppose there's something ominous in this setting with the heavy rain outside and the lack of light here. I kind of like it, to be honest. And it adds something to the atmosphere. I suppose I must look like the villain now. But short of me getting close to them, a noise to my left distracts me, briefly halting my movements, while curiosity takes over every murmurs in my head. And it's a good thing, perhaps, that I did, because as soon as I look up, I see him. Another trespasser. Great. Just as he's about to jump down from the furniture that somehow ended pile up, blocking the door to the parlour. What happened in there? And did he really think it's alright to do that in other people's house? Lout. My hand is already moving before any rationale can stop me. Fingers firm at my gun when I finally release the safety from it and take aim. Not at him, but at his friends. They are his, aren't they? Why else would they all be here together? Doesn't matter, he won't let people he cares about be harmed. My finger on the trigger is more than itching to shoot, but I hold back. Sure, I could have simply taken aim at him, but more than seeing him bleed, I want to see the expression on his face once he realizes everything he's doing is futile. He's trapped. Lives are in my hand, his life is in my hand.
Had I known there would be a party in my own home tonight, I would have opened a bloody bottle or two. People these days, in my own home, can you believe it? I feel so left out.
I can tell the exact moment the realization dawns on him. A short second of his body freezing and blood draining from his face as soon as his feet hit the floor and he looks up. And we're back to this bit now. Cool. So this is near enough the ending of Ashton's chapter. So, cool. He's already a prey trapped by his own recklessness.
Pathetic.
And really, Daisy, even you, what would Kylie say?
Luke, this isn't what you're thinking. You have to listen to us. There's something going on here.
Well, obviously, why else would people be trespassing in my home? What about little Lily over there, then? What's your excuse? Checking back if your clients are doing okay? Is that it? Is this what this is?
We're doing good, by the way.
Sir, please.
Oh, please, what?
Becca's right, sir. We need to get out of this place. You need to leave.
Tut, not a good enough excuse, darling. You people are the ones who need to get out of my sight. Don't worry, I might consider pressing lighter charges for the woman. Can't say the same for the rest of you. But really now, I swear the people of this city need to be taught the meaning of privacy.
Privacy.
This is how you want to start the week. Why don't we just go with a bloody massacre if we want to surprise people in their homes, huh?
It's just a passing remark, of course. I'm not stupid enough to do something that'll bring negative attention to myself. Reputation and all, I can't just risk it. The thought of having their dead bodies here, ones that I'm not even responsible for, the ones who trespassed, it's already quite too much. It'll literally be overkill, especially for someone like me. Nevertheless, joke or not, Feathers wastes no time drawing his own gun at the slight wave of my own. Even if he knows it's already too late. Still, he glares at me. Still, he fights back.
Now, Feathers. Manners. You're in no position to be pointing that gun at people.
There's no desperation in him like I'm hoping, just an annoyance flickering shortly before being hidden underneath a challenge. The likes of him are the kind of people I hate the most. Even with their failures already glaring down at them, mocking every worthless move they make, they have the impudence to stare at people in the eye.
Why don't you put yours down first, and then we'll talk about manners.
Oh, he talks back. The gall! You know, your kind pisses me off so much.
Annoying most of the time, like a damn pest you can't get rid of, but to some degree it's commendable. I'll give him that. After all, we're almost the same in that regard. Almost. I'm still the better person, of course. He tells me to put my gun down, but I see no reason why I should. I'm a homeowner in defense of my own home. I have the right to, I'd like to think. Questionable permit of firearms aside. It's not like I've wanted this. I'm already high-strung at the present doesn't help. Bloody peasants. I can never seem to figure out how their minds fully work. Take this one for example. Despite the pride brewing in him, how he matches my glare with his own, he simply lowers his pistol after a long second, not in surrender. The tense set in his shoulders tells me as much, but the closest he can get to lowering his own ego in favour of something I can't quite place. Interesting. I got to admit, I'm almost disappointed.
As you should be, my lord.
I've expected him to hold until one of us shoots the other. I can't say it'll be more exciting that way. A bullet inside any part of my body isn't something I'd like to have on a bad day like today, or any for that matter. It'll surely be predictable of him. And I like predictable. They're the kinds of people who are the easiest to deal with no matter the situation. With them, there's no second guessing what they'll do. He shoots, I shoot, one of us dies, the other walks away, nothing complicated. Nothing requiring much brainpower, just muscle memory and who's the better shooter, end of story. Yet here he is, dragging a deep breath in and setting aside the only thing protecting him. I can easily shoot him this way, be done with this whole farce of a conversation. Instead, I find myself listening. A concession for a person who, in another life, would have also become the person I am today, had his circumstances allowed it. Damn shame. We might have gotten along.
Listen, right, I need you to...
But alas...
You broke into my house, and somehow, you expect me to listen like a good little boy. Are you a bit touched in the head, Feathers? I'm not the one breaking laws here.
Look here, fucker. If I wanted you dead, I could have done it so many times already. In fact, I can easily shoot you down right here, right now. And you won't be able to do a damn thing, even with that gun.
A meeting of two prideful blokes will never go well, whichever lifetime it is. And I can only laugh at his audacity, his lack of shame and fear, even facing the business end of my
You
pistol.
know what I'm thinking right now? In another lifetime, we would have probably gotten along well.
The best truth I can offer him, not many people, those who have slighted me in particular, live this long to see it.
He should be grateful. You're already gracious enough, allowing him to stand in your presence like this.
Yeah, especially when he has a lot to answer. Preferably right now, because as generous as I have been so far, my patience has its limits. My amusement can only last for so long. In 2 steps, I'm standing in front of him, grabbing him by the collar, and resting the cold muzzle of the eagle against his temple. Ashton!
Luke, no!
Hey, now you two, I'm sure we can all talk about this first.
He'll end up a pretty smear on the wall with this this close.
This loud a lesson.
What is it that you people really want with me? This is the second time this week, and I'm really getting weary of this little game. Did the NCA send you to apprehend me? Or has somebody paid you off to kill me?
Neither.
Which one is it, Feathers? Mind you, my arm's getting tired. Better answer quick if you don't want to beat the business end of this gun.
And he knows it. Of course he does. Hitman or not, he's been trained, judging purely from his stance. But not many bother to be as cautious as him. One glimpse at my handgun safety earlier is all it took for him to see that I mean business. Similar, too similar. We're too alike in so many little ways it's funny. Down to a fact that he doesn't even flinch no matter how heavy the threat in my words are. Even knowing how one flick of my finger and the trigger will be enough to end his sorry life, he should have caved in by now, started begging like so many others before him. Instead, he throws more vitriol, adds more kindling to the fire already burning.
I'm not with NCA. I'm just here to help. There's something else in this house, and we're all in danger. You have to believe me, right? You need to let us go. You need to get out of here before it's too late. If you want to keep your sorry ass alive, you'll listen to people with more brain cells than you.
Shade. Igniting it further, that I can't help but return it to him with equal fervor. We don't need him, my love. Oh, sorry. We don't need him, my love.
Why, you insolent!
We both decide to move in that moment, both our bodies tensing, each of us racing to get ahead of the other. However, before we can even get a head start, a voice unexpectedly rings above the chaos about to ensue.
Luke, help me. Please.
And this is the final moments of Ashton's story. This is all new. And here begins the ending of the letter. I've always been cautious and careful, cutting off troubles head before things can escalate if I'm able. That's why I deal with the likes of Harvey, Suarez and Johannes. For all who we are, for all the enemies like the likes of us can make, such a thing has never happened before, because I do everything to make sure it doesn't happen. But to see Hannah in danger, I don't quite know how to feel or what to do. Of all the times for there to be a hostage situation, even if this is even one, why now? Good fucking God, what is going on here?
Help me. Please. Please make it stop.
I think death would be preferable. In my sense of self-preservation was shot to high hell. It would deprive me of the choice and of responsibility in the matter. I don't even want to think how fast my heart beats, so that I hardly hear anything other than my own heartbeat and her pleading.
Please. They're in my head. Screaming. It hurts so much.
What do I do? What can I do against someone holding your life in their hands? With a woman that looks more monster than man. With her expression turning into one of amusement and horrific laughter fills the air. I'm torn apart. This is my fault, isn't it? Hannah's in danger because of me. Everybody I love ends up hurt or worse. And even when I chose to let her go, she's no exception. Hannah's unbroken begging makes it all the more painful. Because I still love Hannah. I really do. But will I really endanger myself for a woman who might not love me back anymore? Oh, fuck. Still, something in me dies a little when the woman laughs, as if this is all some sick joke. Her smile taunts me, filling my head with laughter and rage until I can barely think over the cacophony in my head. And the way the woman looks at me, it's as if she's watching, waiting for my move.
Please. Someone. Anyone. Help me.
This is crazy. I don't know what I should do. I know for a fact that one shouldn't aggravate a hostage taker. There is no winning in an argument with someone who holds a life easily taken. But I need to do something, right? The decision is taken from me, however. Mint is impetuous and no holding back as she steps up. Her eyes blaze of fire and anger and defiance. Her jaw and stance is set, fist curled at her side, as if she can just sock the witch in the face and have it bear no consequence. She looks like a warrior saint. I'd name one of them if I know any. She thankfully does not rush headlong like an idiot, but she falters. The fire in her eyes died down nothing but a small spark when the woman laughs in her face. There is fear on her face, and that does nothing to settle my worries, as she has the gall to turn her ire on me instead.
What are you doing just standing there when she has Hannah?
Oh, what the bloody hell do you expect me to do?
Get your fucking arse in gear and do anything?
Yes, that's very helpful, McCullough. Telling me to get my arse in gear isn't going to help solve shit here. This isn't some bloody action film where me charging in is going to save anyone. One stupid move from any of us, and Hannah might be dead because of it.
I know she looks like a scary fucker and all, but she's your wife, you gobshite. There must be something.
The woman doesn't look armed, but that does not mean she's not dangerous. If anything, the fact that she's this confident, this unperturbed, while being barehanded is testament to itself. Even she's well prepared. Either she's well prepared, or she's just that crazy. And it's one thing to work with hostage takers, and another thing to work entirely with the criminally insane. A hush settles over the room as she speaks up. Her voice is but a whisper and deathly slow, and I'm hard pressed to hear it over the pounding of my heart in my ears. She speaks, the woman from the gardens and the servant girl from the ballroom, from the hallucination, vision, memories, whatever they were.
Will you not speak up for her? Will you not try to save your beloved wife?
Shit. I'm getting the feeling that the wanting to be on a break is gonna fuck with this ending. I cannot stop the heat from flooding my cheeks, shame turning me red and making me grit my teeth in anger. That same anger set a fire in me, burns through the fear, it spurs me to call her out because of pride.
Why? Will my words hold any sway? Who's to say you won't snap her neck the moment I take one step? Do you take me for an idiot?
Snap.
I take you for a coward. Nothing but a spineless coward.
It seems she found what she's looking for, and that she has no further uses for Hannah. A hand on Hannah's back sends her falling down the stairs. She's nothing but a ragdoll thrown away because she's lost interest with her like a child with an old toy. And frozen in place but mint, she catches her and sends the two of them sprawling to the foot of the stairs. Clearly it was a painful landing, further aggravated by the fact that the Irish woman still seems weak. Yet I just watch as she puts Hannah's well-being first. She puts the both of them up to their feet and dusts their clothes off. Oh, she survived. Oh. There's a small strained smile on her face and a tinge of red that I can't entirely attribute to adrenaline on her face all the while.
You all right there, Hannah? Were you hurt?
The shine in her eyes almost makes me feel jealous, though I don't know who wouldn't be. Mint is a handsome lady. With the way she looks at Hannah, well, anyone would be lucky if Hannah ever so much as looks their way.
Oh no, I'm fine, Marianne. Are you alright? I wasn't too heavy, was I?
If Hannah doesn't wish to be with me anymore, perhaps she'll easily find happiness with another. And McCullough seems like she has the stuff to make her a good significant other.
A little bit. Not that I'm saying you're fat or anything.
There's been a few moments in this game where the interactions between the two characters at the heat of the moment have kind of been a little off. You're still being stared down by a ghoulish lady who threw Hannah down the stairs, and yet Hannah laughs, out of breath, as she smiles at me. Though that disappears as quick as it has appeared. We aren't quite out of the woods yet, and she hasn't forgotten what I did, or rather, what I failed to do. It is only fair, I suppose. I'm nothing but a coward in her eyes, a sorry excuse for a man who can't even muster up the courage to protect her, and we nearly forget for a moment.
You do not deserve what you have.
Just hearing her voice triggers something in Hannah as she starts to tear up. Her face contorts into one of pain and fear. Mint is quick to place a hand on Hannah's face so that she looks at her and her alone.
This is right. Look at me and take deep breaths. She doesn't have you anymore, alright?
I don't know exactly what in bloody hell is going on, yet I can't find it in me to care. Whoever these people are and whatever they're here for is not acceptable. For all I know, this is some dumb charade to get me. All the times I've seen the woman before, it could have all been an act to get to me, to get under my skin. And to think they dare hurt Hannah. But all the fear that I have felt seeing her touch Hannah, I can only think of her as an actress in grotesque makeup. My hand still shakes, the fear not having quite gone, but anger fills me as I look at the woman's sneer on my face.
How dare you! I don't care who you are, but how dare you touch Hannah! I want you out of my house, out before I call the police and have you put away for the rest of your miserable life! And that goes for all of you!
I hold my ground firm and strong with my declaration. But the nerve of her, she just laughs in my face. A terrible, dreadful laughter that makes me feel as if there are ants crawling on my skin and maggots squirming into my ears.
You are telling me to get out of your house. You threatened to lock me up.
She laughs and she laughs.
What's so funny? What are you laughing at? None of this is funny!
But she persists, and it almost feels like her voice is in my head.
Oh, no different. No different. You're all the same. You can all suffer together.
And that is when everything turns into complete and utter shite. Jesus Christ. It's a slow thing, a whisper more than a bang as the darkness creeps into every corner of the room. The walls shudder and groan, blood running from the ceilings crawls down the walls and stains the floor. It's as if life itself has been sucked from the house, slowly but surely. The beauty of the place is gone, with only the dead, decaying remains of a mansion left in its wake. I don't have to wonder if it's just the foyer that's become this nightmarish place. I can already hear it. Gone are the growling of thunder and the lashings of rain and the wind against the foyer's high windows. All of it has been replaced by more grating sound. A cacophony of voices from somewhere and everywhere echoing throughout the now horrid walls. Voice that neither belongs to us nor the people who live here.
What's going on?
All throughout the house, shouts of alarm and surprise ring out and mirror to the horror creeping up in each of us. We won't be shocked, this is insane. Even Daisy, feisty woman she is, she trembles at the sight of it, clinging desperately to Lily while Steel and Feathers stand protectively in front of the two. Brave of them, I have to admit it, to put themselves in the front line like that, though it doesn't necessarily mean they don't feel the same fear as the rest of us. Something I don't blame them for. There seems to be no end in sight for this insanity. If anything, this only feels like the beginning of the end.
Help me! Oh my god! Please, somebody! Anybody! Who are you? Stay away!
No. Stay away. Stay away.
The screams fill the mansion. She laughs all the while, a harsh, agonizing sound that goes on for what feels like forever. And there's nothing but silence, her horrid smile and pale hands reaching out to me, calling, beckoning, pleading. I'm terrified, I really am, like I should be. But I have never been one to truly stay afraid. I've long learned that fear will not get me anywhere. Cowering in a corner doesn't keep me safe, and it will not keep me alive, not like rage does. I've learned to use this burning hate inside for me to survive. There is no difference now.
Stay away from me!
Why do you wish to leave? This is where you belong, my lord. Remember the blood we share? This is your home. Don't you remember? You promised to return, to stay.
Please tell me this is going to give me all the answers.
Together with me, with us, with people no different from you.
What is she talking about, Luke? What does she mean?
Don't listen to her, she lies. I promised no such thing to anyone. Hana, you're the one who bought this house. How should I know what she's babbling about? I never even wanted to be here in the first place.
Terrible case of mistaken identity. This must be it, I'm quite sure of it. I don't know this woman, this monster. Why would I say that to anyone like her? In my entire lifetime, I've only made and kept sincere promises to a mere two people, Hannah Evans and Eleanor Chandler. No one else. The rest of those who've claimed I've promised anything, they can all go fuck themselves. Bloody hell, I may enjoy the company of women, but I'm not an idiot to start spouting such nonsense to anyone. A line must be drawn, especially if I'm to keep myself alive, yet she still goes on, insists, making me appear a liar in front of these people.
Of course you still deny it. Have you truly forgotten? You haven't changed, I see. Still a deceiver.
She's lying!
You see, my love, nothing has changed. still no difference, you and I. Just like the rest of us. Just like every single soul in this putrid wreck. We've waited for so long. You can hear them, yes. Their pleas, their calls, their invitation. Come, my lord. The house seeks its master.
She, the monster, reaches out again. Her hands a gory, abhorrent sight along with the smile spread across her face. My body's already moving on instinct, stumbling back one step at a time in a desperate bid to stay away from her. Save. Anything to put distance between me and this vile creature. No matter what she says, I'm nothing like her. I need to get out of this house. Out of this country, preferably. There's nothing for me here, not anymore, nothing to keep me tied to this place. With Hannah planning to leave me, Shroken likely taken by this woman, nothing's left to bind me to this wretched city. I can leave, I can...
Careful, Luke!
My foot steps on something, sending me sliding on my back and flat on the floor. Beside me a paper, familiar one, flutters down. Oh, fuck. There's this thing again from the open house. It almost seems less... Though it feels less like a gimmick and more like a threat with recent events. It must have fallen from one of the peasants in the commotion earlier. For a moment they appear conflicted to see it in my hand, but wisely keep their opinions to themselves, leaving the damned thing to simply bear its grisly message for everyone in the room to see. Help me. Help me. Help me. Is this it? Is this what they've been telling us? Where everything in this life has gone to my life has gone to shite because of some stupid old letter? An invitation indeed. One I'm not willing to accept. Not any time. From the top of the stairs, the creature moves again, drawing my attention back to her. The gait remains slow and awkward as she walks forward, the smile never leaving her. But I won't give her the chance. I'm not dying here. I certainly am not giving myself to a hideous creature like her either. Adrenaline kicks in, and despite panic gasps and worried glances from Daisy's friends, I pay them no mind as I reach for the main door and, without warning, it slams open, revealing not the mansion grounds like I'm expecting. Before my mind can even comprehend what's happening, black tendrils have already coiled tightly around my limbs, dragging every person in the foyer into the room. None of us get to scream when darkness completely envelops us and the door's closing.
Understand where your place is now, my love. You belong here. Is it so difficult to grasp? We've been waiting.
So it's now doing the stupid looping different rooms in sequence. Look, there's a moment of panic when the feeling of the tendrils around my limbs finally dissipates. As soon as my eyes adjust to the darkness of the room, I'm on my feet and reaching for my knife and holding it out, watching, waiting for every movement. Using it as a way to put a distance between me and these peasants. Who knows what they'll do now. We're all desperate to get out of this house. There's only 7 of us in this room. There's only 7 of us in this room, 4 of them friends at that. I cannot trust these people not to turn on me. Bloody hell, even Hannah's giving me the same look as them right now. Though Mint has already gone loon, crouched in the corner and muttering to herself, you can't really say anyone's safe from her. If anything, she's the one I should watch out for. I cannot trust anyone. Not anymore. Not after this. Despite the pleading look Lily shoots my way, while they're all huddled in the corner behind steel and feathers. I have to remind myself that even people like her are capable of doing the unpleasant. She's only human after all. Never an excuse why even Hannah has her cunning manipulative moments, though she does it in a much subtler than I. Why else would Lily show this letter to us that day if not to save herself? I guess that backfired on her now, and she and her own friends are also stuck here. Still, I have every right to be livid. Everything I've built has fallen apart, all because these people came into our lives.
All of you! This is all your fault! If I've died to this bloody case, I'm taking you all down with me!
Luke, please put that knife away. This isn't going to solve anything.
Hey now, Mr. Wright. I know the situation ain't good, but we have to calm down. We're all in the same boat here.
You shut your mouth! If it weren't for you, or this letter, for all of you, none of this would have happened!
Is your life all that matters to you?
What about these people here? Don't they have the same problem? What about me, Luke? Do you even care?
Are you taking their side? You're also stuck in this nightmare, Hana. That creature is out to get us, and you're still defending these people.
I'm not defending anyone, Luke. I'm just trying to be reasonable when you're clearly not.
Oh, of course you're not. You're just the one who bought this bloody mansion to begin with. If I didn't know any better, you did this on purpose.
This isn't gonna end well.
Why, no. Why would I ever do that? This was only meant to be an anniversary gift. For you. For us. For the family we're going to have.
Right, anniversary gift. Oh, here's your gift, darling. Oh, by the way, there's a curse included in that package. I hope that's all right. Are you really that eager to get rid of me, Hana? Because if that's what you've been meaning to do all this time, you might as well just put a knife in my back while I'm...
Suddenly, Mint steps up and slaps the knife away from my hand. Said knife slides uselessly under the table out of my reach. Before my mind registers what's happening, a sharp blow explodes in the side of my head, sending me reeling backwards. Fuck yes, Marianne! Fuck yes! She merely stands before me afterwards without batting an eye, glaring at me as if he might just rip off my head in this instant. I've almost forgotten she's here. Her ramblings have faded away in the shouting. And did she forget how she's standing right now, punching me like this? The nerve of her. And Hannah just stands there. Last I checked, she's still married to me.
Marianne, you didn't have to. Please, I'll talk to my husband.
Oh, why don't you just let her say what she wants? Do go on. Since that's what these peasants seem to do these days. Barge into your home, barge in on other people's business.
Don't forget you were once a peasant.
No sense of decorum at all.
Keep talking about us like that, and see if any of us here will keep you out of this place.
Rebecca, stop! All of you, stop this!
To hear Lily speak out loud, I can't say I'm not surprised. She's always given me the impression of someone who's meek from the moment I've met her, either from her inexperience or her station in life. She's never struck me as someone fitting to be a real estate agent, up until now. Quietly, she puts herself between me and Daisy, cutting whatever scathing words we've yet to hurl at the other. The way she glares at me, it reminds me a little of the way my own mum would look at me, particularly when I've done something wrong and it's not a stare she's unused to showing. She's done this before, probably to a younger sibling. Huh? If she only sees us now as a pair of squabbling kids and not the two mature adults, well, that's only to be expected. No doubt that's how she sees us. For a long moment, there's only silence in the room. Steel, the big oaf, doesn't even dare to break it, neither does Feathers. With both merely watching us, bunch of wimps these men. Not that it matters when Lily starts speaking again after some of the anger and tension has lifted from the room.
Stop this, please! With or without that damn piece of paper,
A deep breath. An exhale. And then she closes her eyes, crease forming between her eyebrows while she grips her hand tightly in front of her.
We still would have ended up in this mess.
The atmosphere that descends into the room right after admission is anything but pleasant. Can I call it that? An admission? It seems like it from the way her eyes nervously flick between her friends and I. She appears to know more than she lets on, and how she makes herself appear more smaller after dropping that bomb on us doesn't sit well with me. And patience is something I don't have the luxury of having right now and bestowing upon other people. What else does this girl know? What else is she not telling us? Because from the looks of it, even her friends have no idea what she's talking about. Unwilling to wait, I grab her arm before she retreats without explanation, waving the letter still in my hand in front of her.
Ow! Sir, you're hurting me!
Hey, hands off her, right?
Fuck off, Feathers. I have questions for your friend, and she better have the answers.
Fuck off, Feathers.
Luke, will you stop taking it out on every single person?
Your friend is hiding something, Daisy.
She struggles for a moment, but a hold eventually forces her to look up at me. Fear and uncertainty spreads across her features, especially when her eyes land on the damn paper. As much as I want to be considerate right now, I want answers.
What do you mean, Lily?
I'm not sure about it.
Don't give me that, you know something!
Ow! Please, sir. I know the paper's useless, okay?
The mention of the letter without... The paper's useless. I've been saying this for so long. If it is true that the paper is useless and just some weird fucking gimmick, it never tied into the story. Never tied into the story. Without warning, Mint snatches it out of my hand. It's a miracle I didn't rip it right there and then, but the way she glares at it, I think she may want to do exactly that.
We should have gotten rid of this thing. We should have burned it at the first opportunity we got.
No, even if we rip it to shreds, it won't do anything. I think...
You don't know what I've seen, Santos. There were children, victims, all because they had no idea what this thing will do to them. Oh God, those poor souls. They were screaming and begging before she...
Yeah, we saw all this in her story.
Then what about those people they mentioned in the news lately? All those who died? My coworkers? The open house clients? None of them had seen it. Even Rose. And yet they're all dead. I should know. That letter has been with me since I picked it up. And I swear I didn't make copies of this thing. Even if I wanted to save myself, I wouldn't do that to my friends. Or anyone.
Is that what the trip to BRC was for?
Yes, I'm sorry. I couldn't tell you guys until I was certain. None of you believed me the first time. I had to find proof.
And yet we're all here! Are you taking me for a fool, Lily?
I have to go with whiskey on this. Who knows how many has already seen this before you found it? This cursed thing has to go!
We would have ended up here either way. Maybe? I really don't know. Sir, please. All I know is that paper isn't the reason why all of this is happening. There's something else that...
This place.
Steele has been quiet the entire time. The sound of him talking, however whispered it is, still manages to catch us all off guard. We all pause, turning to him, likely the same question in our eyes.
What?
Oh, I just thought... I mean, it's a straight thought, alright? Don't take my word for it.
No, it might be something. What about this place, Zach?
There's still a moment where he hesitates, but Lily's urging eventually spurs him into speaking.
I was just thinking, maybe Ash is right for why you went here. This is where Bella found that thing, right? And then this.
It was just a hunch, Zach. We were not getting anywhere. But just because we went here doesn't mean we will find all the answers we need here. Hell, now we're stuck here.
Regardless, Steele pauses, allows Lily to remember soon enough what it is dawns on her, and her face lights up with something like hope. Of all things in this nightmare, hope? Her head snaps up as she reaches for Steele's arms to give it a squeeze. A reassurance or a confirmation, the meaning of it lost to Daisy, who glances at them, baffled.
Belle, what are you... Becca, it's this place. Think about it. What? You mean, like, burn this place down?
I still think we should get rid of this letter before we start thinking of destroying a place with some historical value.
What? And no? We are not burning a multi-million-pound mansion, you peasants! I just spent a fortune on this!
You didn't spend anything.
Seriously, Luke, are you really more worried about that?
Buttercup, marching, millions. It's going to take years getting all that money back.
Well, you certainly won't be getting any of that money if you're dead. Really, Luke? Is that more important than your life?
Bloody fucking hell! Not only do I have trespassers on my property, but they're also arsonists!
How dare they suggest something like that? Bloody peasants. My head's already aching just listening to them, to think of all this. This is all the solution they can come up with. I should have just stabbed all of them and made a run for it. It doesn't help that with each second we spend talking, the crazier the whole place gets. The voices become louder and somehow sounding more vicious. The things in this room start floating, mark my words, I'll fucking flip out. And they may not think of it right now, but eventually they'll turn on me. Such is the nature of humans. Better find a way out of this place as soon as possible. If I want to stay alive, fuck, I still have so much to do. None of our choices seem sound, but who knows? We don't understand a shite about this place. We might as well try everything, yeah? Whatever works. If I also have to be the one to make a bloody decision, so be it. Less room for errors, with the only sane one doing the thinking. You're not sane, Luke. On the off chance I'm wrong, well, they suggested it. So, like I said before, I've been saying for probably the last 3 or 4 times playing through this game so far. The letter, I believe, is a complete red herring. So going with my convictions, we burn the mansion. I'm going to regret this, I will. And with these cries going louder, this has been the easiest decision I've made so far. I'm getting tired of hearing her sobbing. Really, it's just irritating. Isn't she getting tired of it? Besides, someone has to act first, think fast, and what else is the root of our problems but this place where the letter was found? You know, you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Leave the letter in here. No need to make things